unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. This is the first time that I've been given the pleasure to introduce myself to you. I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So you guys, today's pick a card reading is a really exciting and eye-opening one. It is all about 3 months from now. So if you wish that you could fast forward and figure out exactly what life is going to be like 3 months from now, all you need to do is tune into one of these 5 groups that I have prepared for you. The 5 groups that you can choose from today are as follows. We have the Ocean Calcite, we have the Labradorite, we have the Geode, we have the Cognac Calcite, as well as the Amethyst. And as you most likely already know by now, the timestamps to all 5 groups can be found down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section. But before I get into the readings, I just wanted to make you aware of the fact that today's video is a fundraiser video, and I'm giving you 2 options in which you can participate. So the first option is to watch the ads on this video, rewatch the video, put it on replay, because I will be donating the first 7 days of AdSense revenue. Because I know in such difficult times, a lot of you want to help other people out, but you may not be able to physically do so or actually monetarily participate. So this is a great way how it's completely free for you to donate. All you need to do is to let the ads play. But then as a second option, I will of course leave a link. I will of course leave a little button where you can donate directly if that is what you choose to do. So the charities that I will be donating to on behalf of the Unicorn Fam are both charities that help out people worldwide. So the 2 charities are the Center for Disaster Philanthropy and Save the Children. So I will be donating equal amounts to both. So if you're watching this video, you can already consider yourself an active participant in donating to different causes and people in need. So yeah, you guys, that is just a way in which I thought I could use my platform as well as your unwavering support in order to help other people out. But as mentioned, the links to both charities will be down below, so you can check those out anytime. So the next time I'm doing a fundraiser, it's going to be one for animals as well as the environment. So if you have any organizations that you trust, that you know are transparent, where most of the donations are actually used for the cause, please feel free to enlighten me and comment down below so that I can use your suggestions for the next fundraiser themed pick a card reading video. So yeah guys, I know a lot of talking in this intro. I just wanted to make sure that it's very clear and transparent what's going on and how you can help those in need just by watching your pick a card reading. But I'm now going to get into the readings, starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Ocean Calcite, and to all of my other beautiful groups. I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Ocean Calcite group number 1, and I want to move straight into your reading to figure out what's going on 3 months from now for you. So first and foremost, we have the citrine show up in your reading. The citrine is all about unnecessary worries and them finally fading away, okay? Finally not being so unnecessarily worried. Maybe you're a bit of a hypochondriac, not trying to call you out, group number 1, but you will finally be able to move into a healthier headspace where you're not worrying about every little thing, where anxiety isn't such a focal point of your day-to-day life. Then we have the topaz as well as the turquoise. So group number 1, we have 2 really interesting stones show up for you. The turquoise is a stone that speaks of you embarking on a more spiritual path and kind of expanding your spiritual practices. I see here that your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, and you're making those a part of your day-to-day endeavors, such as if, for instance, the environment is very important to you, you're trying to produce less waste, you're trying to be more of a low impact, low emission human being than just saying to yourself, oh well, I guess the next generation will have to deal with it. So really just becoming more conscious and more aware. In the topaz, I see here that you will be able to forgive and finally heal. So somebody who has hurt you, a situation that has really caused you pain and distress, is coming to a point of closure where you can finally forgive. This can often take years. or at least months, as you most likely are understanding, because you're thinking of that situation that really hurt you right now. And I see that 3 months from now you're going to be at peace and at ease with yourself and that person, that situation. Then we have the new moon. Group number 1, I love the new moon. The new moon is all about manifestation as well as new beginnings. So if you're looking for a great time to harness more power into your manifestation, do it during a new moon. Do it during this powerful celestial event, so you can really just gather as much energy as possible to pump that into more prosperity, and your points that you've written down in your journal that you want to manifest, all of them becoming real and starting to actually be a part of your life. Then we have the 3rd quarter moon. In the 3rd quarter moon, I see that 3 months from now, group number 1, you're going to realize that you have to make a few adjustments. So maybe you haven't been quite living in the integrity that you thought that you were. So for instance, saying how you don't agree with cruelty or child labor, but then at the same time you are purchasing products that are very cheap, okay, that are very affordable, and the true cost of it is the fact that a lot of people in a different place in this world are suffering because of that. So just this clarity, this sense of, wow, if I really want to walk the talk, I have to start looking into these things, realizing the complexities of life and your day-to-day being. And then we have the waxing crescent moon. So in the waxing crescent moon, one thing that I can see here is an increase in just having faith that your dreams are dreams that you can truly accomplish, not feeling like, oh, well, it's just a dream. Actually being at a point of understanding that somebody once was in a world where there was no such thing as, for instance, an airplane, a car, and they dreamt that they could construct something that would bring somebody from point A to B, and people thought that they were crazy and it had never been done before, but they could think it, so they could create it, they could achieve it. So that is where I see in the waxing crescent moon just an infinite amount of confidence in your dreams and understanding that it's been done before, so why not you? Then we have the Queen of Acorns as well as the Knight of Acorns. So we have 2 people here of acorns, and you may think to yourself, Vanessa, what are 2 people of acorns? So let me explain. The suit of acorns is the suit of fire signs. So we have a strong fire sign energy that is having an effect on your life. So now if you are a fire sign, group number 1, then you may just be that person who is having that effect on your life. You're having the biggest effect on you. So that kind of speaks to you being more in solitude, more in hermit mode, and just really taking your time to deepen your understanding of where you're heading next. But if you're not a fire sign, I want you to know in the Knight of Acorns as well as the Queen of Acorns that you have so much that you can learn and that you can use from a fellow fire sign that is close to you. Well, not fellow, of course. From a fire sign that is close to you in one way or another. It could be a book that you're reading by a fire sign, a podcast that you're tuning into. It could even be somebody who is close to you as an extended family, a friend, who is really inspiring you, who is really pushing you, who is showing you that, hey, you can achieve great things. You can make things happen that other people have not been able to accomplish before. But what you can also, of course, do is accomplish your dreams that have maybe already been done before, but you're going to do it differently. So just because somebody has already done a business that you're interested in doesn't mean that your business can't thrive, because guess what's different? You. They don't have your creative twist. They don't have your know-how. They don't have your drive to make things happen. That is one thing that I see in the Knight of Acorn that is soaring really high for you 3 months from now. Then we have Cernunnos. So in Cernunnos, we have this strong life force. The acorns, that is a more phallic type of energy, masculine energy. So in Serenus, I want you to know here, 3 months from now, you are way more into expressing your driving passion. You are talking to people about what drives you. You are expressing it, as in showing openly what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what you're into, what you're trying to do in this world, the difference you're trying to create. So that could be, for instance, posting or speaking publicly for the first time about your dreams, your desires, the things that you're trying to accomplish in your current lifetime. Then we have El Moria. So in El Moria, I see here an awakening presence, kind of understanding that there is something bigger than you and I here that is willing to guide you, willing to support you. I see here that you're wearing kind of like a cloak of protection that is made up of love. So understanding that the only real thing is love, and to always choose love above all else. So while you might want to make a petty comment or say something that is maybe true but not very nice, you're holding yourself back because you're saying to yourself, hey, I'm acting from a place of love. Negativity has no place or space around me. I'm just going to kind of calm myself, be mature about it, and act from a place of love, because that is the kindest, most mature and strong thing that you can do. Then we have the Magician as well as the Seven of Shells. So let's talk about the Seven of Shells first. The Seven of Shells is all about having a lot of different choices and being torn, okay? Your ambition being in different places, because you're such a multifaceted being and you have a lot of different interests and you can jump from one to the next to another one. It can be hard to choose, and that is where I see here in the Magician that it's best for you to choose the option with least resistance, where you can just effortlessly create. So if, for instance, you think, I could do a blog or I could do a YouTube, which should I do? Try it out. What comes more effortlessly to you? Filming, talking to the camera, talking to your audience, or is it writing that comes more effortlessly? Do you love taking photos for the blog? Or do you prefer editing a video, you know, doing that whole process where you're maybe sitting for hours on your editing software? So it's really up to you to feel that out and to decide to get into your body and to understand what will work best for you. Then last but not least, we have the Sun. Group number 1, the Sun is such a favorable card to have show up in your reading. It is a card of happiness, vitality, fun, joy. It is just overall an amazing sign, an amazing closing to your reading about what is going on 3 months from now in your life. You're in a happy place, you're in a place of contentment, you're in a place where you think to yourself, I really love my life. So group number 1, I truly hope you enjoyed your reading. I'd love the closing, the finishing message of your reading, and I'm excited for your life 3 months from now. I hope that you found this reading motivational, insightful. If you made it all the way to the end, leave a little crab or lobster emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm sending you so much love and light, group number 1, and I'll see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading about your life 3 months from now. So you chose the Labradorite, group number 2. This is such an amazing stone. I just love how it glistens in this beautiful blue depending on how the light hits it. But honestly, my studio lighting doesn't even do it justice. Anyways, let's move into your reading to figure out what's going on for you 3 months from now. First and foremost, we have the aquamarine. Now, group number 2, in the aquamarine, one thing that I see is that 3 months from now, the signs about what your life purpose is are going to become so loud and clear that you can no longer ignore them. So if you're currently working in a job or studying something that you're really not that big of a fan of, that you're not really that into, it just doesn't vibe with you, it doesn't click with you don't feel fulfilled, 3 months from now, an ending is going to be inevitable. You're thinking of your way out, you're thinking of how you can quit, how you can move on, and how you can make yourself happy, group number 2. Then we have the Unakite, and in the Unakite, one thing that I see here is that all of the hard work that you're putting in order to make that change, because of course nobody wants to just quit and then stand there with nothing. So I see that the fact that you're concerned on how you're going to move forward, but nevertheless you're brave enough to try and pursue your true life's purpose, I see that you're going to be rewarded for doing that, for the bravery. So that could be instantly finding a job when you want to switch, or instantly finding something that really gels with you when you stop studying a subject that just bores you, and just being in a place where you think, oh, I did make the right choice. Because at the end of the day, it's not easy, it's challenging, but I'm happier here doing what feels right than doing something just because that's what I'm supposed to do. Then we have the apophyllite next. In the apophyllite, I see here that your support from people around you is going to increase and be very surprising to you. This increased support is one that opens up as soon as you allow yourself to be vulnerable and to show people, hey, I'm just not happy where I currently am, and that's why I need this change. The same goes for a relationship that you're not happy with, especially if it's one that's legally binding, like for instance, a marriage, but you realize it's just not fulfilling you. And I mean, what's the alternative other than leaving? All you can do is stay unhappy, right? And that's not really a good option. So in the apophyllite, I do see that once you come clean about the fact that you're just not satisfied, your support system is going to come together and give you that support, that unwavering support that you needed, but maybe didn't expect, because you may have thought that you would be judged a lot more. But no, in the apophyllite, I see that your support system is there for you. Then we have the King of Acorns. The King of Acorns is kind of calling you to take action, to be unafraid. This is very brave type of energy. But on another note, the King of Acorns might touch your life as in a romantic interest, okay? Somebody who is of a fire sign, who is very optimistic and innovative. But I'm afraid that 3 months from now, you might just not be ready for any relationship. You might just not be ready to be serious about that. I mean, maybe you're even taken then. Who knows? But the King of Acorns is definitely showing an interest in you. Then we have the Eight of Acorns, and the Eight of Acorns is focusing on results. So you're no longer about just doing things because you're supposed to do them, such as having a conventional job or studying something specific that you think is the right thing to do based on your skill sets. I see here that you're all about results, and you measure your results in like happiness quantity. So if you're not happy, that's not a good result, and you're going to switch things up. You're going to change things. Then we have the 10 of Crystals, which speaks of the fact that you're moving to a point where, okay, you might be picking yourself up because you're trying something new, right? Because you're moving into your new life purpose. So finances, money may not just be flowing freely, but you have enough stability to be able to focus on what truly matters to you. And that is often all that we need, all that we really desire to change our lives, to move into a place that is more suitable to our needs and to who we are as people. Because when you're living in a space that just doesn't go with your beliefs, that doesn't go with who you've become, it can be really stressful. It can be really strenuous. So all you need is a little bit of a safety blanket, and that will be enough to carry you into your next cycle of following your purpose properly. Then we have the balsamic moon. So it's a time for healing 3 months from now, being okay with the fact that, yeah, maybe you've taken a few wrong turns in life, but who hasn't? And those wrong turns are the ones that can even confirm when you are on the right path. Because how do you know that you're on the right path if you've never been on a different path, right? If you've never tried something else, how do you know that this is it? Because sometimes you also need to try something different to come back and be like, oh, no, I really like what I did in the first place, right? But it's just that knowingness that gives peace of mind. So a little story that I have there is, for instance, trying out different doggy courses with one of my dogs that really doesn't like other dogs. So I need to train. I need to go and see what suits me, right? So I have one lady that I've been with since the start, and she's awesome. And she was sick for a while. She couldn't do it because of the whole pandemic. Another lady did have some courses available. I went to her, I tried it out, and it was really not for me. It was not right for my dog either. It wasn't right for my little pooch, and we just both felt that the energy was off. And guess what? We appreciated where we were first off so much more, and we said to ourselves, wow, we really found somebody who is amazing, and we're so much more thankful for this person that we found first and foremost, that we've been with, than if we hadn't had that experience, right? We would have never known. So just a little example for you on exactly what it is that I mean. Then we have the new moon in Sagittarius, as well as the new moon in Virgo. So in the new moon in Virgo, one thing that I see here is that it's really a time for you to give value rather than to take, okay? So you're not buying a lot of things, you're not spending frivolously. It's really more for you a time of learning, of giving value into this world by providing your divine life's purpose rather than receiving, okay? So by giving, I mean giving the world what you're good at, giving the world the best of you than just taking in. In the new moon in Sagittarius, know that luck is on your side. So if you feel like you just can't catch a break and things are difficult, things are not going as planned, know that 3 months from now, luck is just one thing that your knowledge, your wisdom, your preparation is going to bring to you, because luck, of course, is something that can spontaneously happen, but isn't luck also in a way when you've already prepared yourself mentally, you've already kind of put yourself in a space for that opportunity to arise, and then it actually does happen because that is what you prepped for? I mean, it's to each their own, I'd say, when it comes to luck, but I do feel like luck is something that you can attract more of in your life if you want to. Then we have Isis, and in Isis, one thing that I can see here is magic manifesting. I can see that a lot of your things, your visions are becoming a reality. So if you have a vision or a goal board, make sure that you look at it 3 months from now and let me know what came true. Let me know exactly how many things became a reality. If you don't have a goal board, now's the time to make one. Group number 2, create a little goal board with some cutouts, with some just written descriptions of what you want. So have it be a nice visual mixture for you to look at, and allow yourself to have that be your tool for manifestation, and just watch how things on your goal board become a reality. It's crazy how that works. And then we have Serapis Bay. So in Serapis Bay, I see here more movement into your true self, which is only logical when you're doing exactly what you are meant to do, exactly what you're really good at and makes you feel fulfilled and happy. And I see here that you're able to rise above any darkness that people are trying to bring onto you. So while maybe in other instances you would have taken the bait, you would have gotten into a petty argument or conversation with somebody who just wanted to egg you on, you are in a space of just being so above that situation 3 months from now that you're just not even engaging, okay? You're just on a completely different cloud, in a completely different dimension, just focused on you. Then we have Mother Mary, as well as Saint Germain. So Mother Mary is all about love and peace, right? In correlation to the King of Acorns, I see that, you know, it's not a bad situation. This is definitely somebody that you could be in a committed relationship with, but I also see here that it's okay for you to let go. Just because this person is interested in you and is trying to make their way to you romantically doesn't mean that you have to give it a try. It doesn't mean that you owe them anything. And that is where I see in Mother Mary you just kind of saying to yourself, look, it doesn't make you a bad person to let somebody down as long as you let them down gently and easily. In Saint Germain, one thing that I can see is you creating your own path and moving beyond past life karma. I see here that you're making more room for good energy 3 months from now, and by paving your own way, creating your own path, you have more confidence, more of this inner knowingness that you're doing the right thing. So even if somebody tries to derail you, even if somebody tries to kind of make you feel inferior, they can't do it, because one thing they will never be able to take away from you is that confidence, that inner knowingness, and the self-love that you're embracing by allowing yourself to do things that make you happy, and by telling yourself, I can make it work. If somebody else has been able to accomplish it, then so can I. So group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and found it insightful. If you made it to the end of your reading, leave a little horse emoji down below to let me know. Wherever you are in this world, group number 2, I hope you're doing amazing. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'll see you in one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Geode, group number 3, which is such a gorgeous crystal. I absolutely love the Geode because each one is just so unique and so different. And one thing that I love about them most is that they amplify the energies of other crystals. So make sure that you put your geodes around any other crystals that you own. But let's move into your reading to figure out what's going on 3 months from now. So we have the citrine, group number 3. In the citrine, one thing that I see here is releasing the burdens of just giving them up to the universe and knowing that what's the point in being so bothered by the future or the past? What is the point in worrying? What is the point in having all of these emotional burdens around me? There is no point in it. So that is one thing that I see you coming to the conclusion of in the citrine. I see you leaving the past behind and not being too concerned about what is next, but instead really living in the moment, group number 3. In gold, I see that you are getting a divine intervention. So because something really profound and eye-opening is happening to you 3 months from now, I see that that is what makes you think life is too short. I cannot spend it worrying. I cannot spend it under these unnecessary burdens. Then we have the calcite next. So in the calcite, I see that through being really, really busy, that it makes this divine intervention even more of a shocker to you, because your schedule is so busy, because you're multitasking, you're trying to do 10 things at once, and then all of a sudden you have this divine intervention in your life that we have yet to figure out what it is, and it just makes your whole world stop. It just makes everything seem to freeze for a moment in time, and that is when you come to the realization that you have been prioritizing and worrying about things that maybe don't really matter that much to you, but you never really noticed because you were too busy just doing, and you never took the time to just give it a moment and think about it and reflect, group number 3. Then we have the 4 of shells, and the 4 of shells is all about that reevaluation, is all about that soul searching. So in correspondence to gold, I definitely see that the divine intervention is going to make you question your actions. It's going to make you question your beliefs and how you wish to proceed with life, how you wish to move forward. In the world, please do not worry, group number 3, because the world is one of the most favorable cards of the tarot. It is a card that speaks of fulfillment, celebration, just overall being in a happy spot and not having worries that are shaking you to the core. So while this divine intervention is going to shake you, it's not the type of shaking you up that is super negative and long lasting. It is one that makes you see life for what it is, a beautiful opportunity to make mistakes, to have ups and downs, and to remind you that pain and suffering is an essential part of life, not just because the experience is human, but because the experience of pain, suffering, and darkness allows us to know what happiness, love, joy, and light really is. Then we have temperance. So this intervention may come in correspondence to you overdoing something. So maybe you're drinking too much coffee, too many energy drinks, you're working out too hard, or you're just drinking alcoholic beverages too much. You're consuming things, putting things into your body that you shouldn't. These could be all types of substances, you name it. And that is where I see this divine intervention happening. You just coming to the realization that you can't keep going like this. You might have a little health scare. You might have a situation where you see a medical practitioner and they're telling you, look, you're still fine, but you have to change something now. You have to take a step back from what you're doing and do this instead, okay? So that is where I see intemperance, you having the chance to come back into balance, to remind yourself about what really matters. Then we have the Empress. So if you're looking to see how fertile the times are 3 months from now, group number 3, things are fertile. But if you're not looking to expand your family, of course, protection is important, literal protection, keeping yourself in a situation where you're not going to accidentally add somebody into the family, if you know what I mean. But another thing that the Empress stands for is bounty, beauty, and abundance. So embracing more of your natural features, and that may be something that you struggle with or are still learning to be okay with. One thing that I know I've struggled with in the past is just my hair, not because I don't like it, but just because managing it can sometimes be a lot. And if you go into some of my other videos, you will see like my natural curly hair. It's big, it's curly, it's out there, and it can be a lot, especially when it's hard for you to handle or when you've been picked on for it. So that is where you have to learn to embrace it and to realize that sometimes the things that you're picked on the most are the things that other people envy, or the things that other people just can't admit they wish they had. Then we have the full moon in Aries, which speaks of a very fiery climax, something coming to a conclusion, something coming to that finale, if you will. Okay, so let's figure out what it is. We have the full moon in Aquarius, and then we have the full moon in Leo. So lots of full moons here. In the full moon in Leo, I see that, you know, your pride may try to get in the way of your learning process. So already be aware of that, group number 3, where I do see here in the full moon in Aquarius that you're very inclined to show the world the real you. But, you know, ego and the real you, it can sometimes clash, especially if you have one version of yourself in your head that you want to show other people, and then there's another version that is actually who you are and what really makes you you. But maybe that's been private up until this point, so it's a difficult thing, right? It puts you in a difficult situation. And in correspondence to the full moon in Aries, where we have this fiery climax, it becomes clear that you're no longer able to balance who you want to be seen as and who you truly are. You're kind of just letting it all out, and you're like, this is who I am, take it or leave it. If you can't love me at my worst, you can't have me at my best, and if you don't like who I am, then so be it. I don't care, it doesn't matter to me. So I definitely see you kind of giving up on trying to please other people, okay, which is a great thing, group number 3. Then we have Master Jesus. So in Master Jesus, I see forgiveness. Don't feel as though this is a religious thing. Okay, Master Jesus is literally just a character, just a card within this. If you want to interpret it on a religious basis, that is up to you, but that is not what my channel is about, because my channel is meant to be all inclusive, right? So looking at this as just another figure, I want you to know that this is all about the path of forgiveness, all about the path of knowing that yes, people may have made fun of you, people may have made you feel inferior, but being able to forgive them and to understand that they didn't know any better, they may have been jealous, they may have felt threatened, and that may be how they chose to respond. That may have been the only way they knew how to handle it, and they knew how to respond. Forgiving that and knowing that maybe if you were in their situation, you may have not done things any differently. Understanding we're all human and we all need to forgive one another because we all make mistakes. Then we have Saint Germain. So So in Saint Germain, we have karma releasing 3 months from now. I want you to know here that moving beyond drama is something you're finally going to get to, and also cutting that dramatic friend, that dramatic person a little bit more out of your life. So especially if it's a family member, somebody who you've been friends with for a long time, of course you don't want to cut them out fully from one day to the next, but just cutting them out a little bit more, especially during times where you need uplifting energy. Like for instance, if there are certain days where you have really tough work hours, or you have some tasks that you need to do where you just need to be on point. Like for instance, when I'm filming, I'm of course not going to want to talk to somebody who brings my energy down, right? Who brings my vibration down, because I want to give you the best of me. I want you to benefit from me having a high vibration, from me having a positive outlook, and giving you these messages that are undiluted, giving you these divine messages from the universe that I'm receiving without any type of negative connotation. So I'm going to remove myself from anything that may move me in a different direction. And that is what I see you doing 3 months from now. That is where I see you having this divine intervention and feeling like, hey, if I let this person influence where my life is going and how good the work is that I'm putting out, then I'm giving them so much more power than they really should have. I'm giving them a lot more power than I ever intended to. So quitting that and allowing yourself to be in full control over your energetic field, and putting yourself in situations that are safe, because when certain people just push you, depending on who they are, it can be hard to ignore. It can be hard to just get over, or, just not pay attention to. So not even giving them the opportunity to get you in a bad mood, or to get you out of balance, to knock you out of homeostasis. That is not happening for you anymore from 3 months from now, group number 3. So we are at the end of your reading, group number 3. I truly hope that you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end, leave a little zebra emoji down below in order to let me know. And overall, just let me know what hit home as well in the comment section. I'm sending you so much love and light, group number 3. I hope you're doing amazing and staying safe, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Cognac Calcite, group number 4, which is such a gorgeous stone. Let me show you a quick close-up. It is a very warm honey-colored type of stone. I absolutely love it. But let's move into your reading to figure out what's going on 3 months from now, shall we? So we have the Sodalite. In the Sodalite, I see you socializing more, joining into the party more, group number 4. So especially if you're an introvert, this could be something that is difficult for you now, especially now that you're used to being at home more and not leaving the house so often, not socializing as much. So 3 months from now, I see you really just being brave, stepping over those boundaries that you may have just created in your head, of finding it very awkward to talk to new people or putting yourself in certain social situations, and just instead flourishing, having a little social butterfly moment, okay? So it may be that yes, you are an introvert, but at the same time, after being introverted by force for so long, by law, you're all of a sudden just bursting out to try and make sure that you're socializing and joining in the fun. Then we have the lapis lazuli. The lapis lazuli is a stone that speaks of life-changing epiphanies and experiences. So something big is happening for you, group number 4. I see that 3 months from now. It's a time of big, blessed change, and you're supported every step of the way, but it can be daunting. It can be a little bit scary. Then in correlation to the Larimar, you're having heightened, very sensitive emotions due to that, due to the fact that, yes, it's a little scary that there's so much change going on. You're not 100% sure how to deal. So you are very sensitive. It could also be because 3 months from now, your hormones are playing a little crazy, just overall, the way your brain, your body is wired up with one another is just in a very sensitive place. I do see here that this calls for extra self-care and gentleness, and not from other people. Don't expect other people to give that to you. Group Group number 4, this is something you have to give to yourself, because no matter how gentle and kind and just sensitive towards you another person may be, if you are not happy, you are going to lash out. If you are not cool with yourself, anybody loving you, anybody showing you care is not going to make a difference. You're then just going to be mean to them. So what you need to do is really be in a good place, in a gentle place with yourself. Then we have the World. So group number 4, the World is one of the most favorable cards, if not the most favorable card. It's all about that fulfillment, joy, and feeling like you're not lacking anything in life, which may be also why you feel very sensitive, because you're thinking to yourself, oh, I kind of feel like everything is fine. I kind of feel like everything is going in the right direction. I don't even know what to strive for right now. I don't even know what my next goal is. So that might really stress you out, especially with how toxic hustle culture and goal culture can become. And then we have the Empress. So in the Empress, you may realize that even though maybe you never wanted another addition to your family, maybe you already have enough people in your family, or you're just overall not really, you've never really connected with children or babies. I see here in the Empress a little bit of paternal, maternal type of feelings, feelings of wanting to help a young, vulnerable being out. Of course, this could also be an animal, okay? I'm not going to be shaming my pet parents, for I am a pet parent myself, a parent to 5, okay? So I want you to know here in the Empress that those feelings can make you move into something very hastily, so don't adopt anything, anyone on a whim. Take your time, okay? Because these sensitive emotions are triggering all types of thoughts within you, and you want to be careful in your decision making. Then we have the 4 of Shells, and the 4 of Shells is really just a reflection of the fact that you do kind of have it all 3 months from now. You are in a good place. So you're searching your soul, you're searching yourself to figure out like, hey, what is it to me that really is the meaning of my life? What is it to me that brings me joy and happiness and makes me feel like just because I have everything doesn't mean I want the next thing or I need to want more, right? Just being okay with being in the moment and having what you have, because a little bit flawed thing about the World in your reading, group number 4, is the fact that you're happy, you have what you need, but at the same time you feel like it's awkward. It's almost like you can't just be happy for yourself. And then we have Joan of Arc, and Joan of Arc is the voice of truth, which you will be in need of 3 months from now. I see here that you have to stand strong and focus on where you feel your purpose lies, and also focus on knowing that there is no end to wanting, right? There is no end to feeling like, oh, I want this or I should do this. There will always be a new standard set by society. I mean, once it was curvy, once it was thin, once it was a Coke bottle shape. It's just always changing, right? No matter what you look at, whether it's beauty for women, whether it's success for men in their careers. I mean, there's always the next thing to follow, the next thing to thrive for that is mostly unattainable, right? So why even fall for the trends? Use your voice of truth. Make sure that you're just focused on you, what makes you happy, not what looks good, okay? Because looks and real life, 2 very different things, especially in the day and age of Photoshop and face tuning videos. Ooh, girl, the truth is often far away from what is posted. Then we have Cernunnos. So in Cernunnos, one thing that I can see here is just a very driving passion that is emerging after you've been in this little slump, after you've been in this little sensitive spot, okay? So just more drive for the next thing, more of like, okay, I can do this. I don't need to feel sensitive about it. And in El Moria, I see here an awakening new presence within you. So a new spirit guide, a new guide being with you. So it could be you delving further into spirituality, reading more content, more literature on what the different kind of gods are, what the different types of religions are, choosing one, or just, you know, remaining in a place where you're informed, but you have a new sense of what type of presence might be around you. Also, another thing that I see in El Moria that could be the case for you is a past life experience, kind of something that you would experience in hypnotherapy, where you would feel very connected to a certain version of yourself in a past life. So feeling like you know a lot about yourself while you were working in ancient Egypt, you know, building pyramids, or while you were ruling over some long forgotten kingdom. So some type of very mystical experience coming for you. And in correlation to the lapis lazuli, that may just be that life-changing epiphany, right? And then we have the mutable moon, where I see that nothing is set in stone. 3 months from now, everything is still very much moldable, okay? So don't allow yourself to make big decisions hastily. As I mentioned in Joan of Arc, don't do anything on a whim. Take your time. Impatience is not a good look for you. Then we have the full moon, which is all about surrendering to the divine, all about surrendering to the fact that there is a greater power out here that we cannot explain, right? We just try and call it coincidences, but what are coincidences, right? It's just like as if we were to call bodies just bodies, but what is the body? What is it made up of? What is its logic? There's still so much to figure out about these so-called coincidences, the law of attraction, and how it truly works. There is so much scientific evidence that still needs to be proven, that still needs to be made and established, that you can still just surrender to your knowingness, because your brain is the most powerful thing that you will ever have on your side. Your brain power, your brain function. So make use of it, don't take it for granted, and keep living in that belief that your thoughts do create your reality. So if your thoughts are in a place where you're allowing the divine to take over and you're really just focused on being in the moment and working on the moment, trust that the future will be created in the way that you desire for you. Then we have the blue moon, we have the full moon in Gemini, as well as the supermoon. So the supermoon connects once again to your emotional side, your emotions running high and most likely not being able to control them very well. For some reason, group number 4, there's so much within your reading about your emotions just being really out of control. So I don't know if it's that time of the month for you, if you're just feeling something, a lot of testosterone, a lot of estrogen. I don't know what it is, but there could be a lot of crying, okay? So just a little heads up for you. In the full moon in Gemini, I see that answers that you need are coming your way 3 months from now, as well as the fact that the impossible is going to seem possible. So if you found it very hard to find love, a job that you really love, or just a job period, then know that while it may seem impossible to obtain those things, have those things enter your life, I see that 3 months from now, you're finally going to get that yes from an application that you sent out. You're finally going to have that person enter your life that makes you believe that love is real and love is something that you can have. So while there is no like big soulmate connection here for 3 months from now, there is nevertheless this feeling of somebody coming into your life showing you that you're worthy. So even if they're not the one, they gave you that confidence boost that you needed to remind yourself that I can do this, and I'm worthy, and I'm lovable, and I'm beautiful, just as the Empress suggests. So group number 4, if you made it to the end of your reading, leave a little bunny emoji down below in the comment section to let me know. And also don't forget to comment on what really hit home for you. I love reading those comments. So I hope you're doing amazing, group number 4. I'm sending you so much love and light and abundance, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 5, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Amethyst, group number 5, which will forever be one of my faves. This is such a beautiful gem. I just love its beautiful, just naturally purple color. But let's move into your reading to figure out what's coming for you 3 months from now, shall we? So First and foremost, we have the Cognac. So one thing that I can see here in the Cognac is you owning your divine power, okay? Group number 5, no more people pleasing, no more doing things just because you said yes, even though you didn't really want to say yes. No more doing things for other people that you know they would not do for you. So that is one thing that I see in the Cognac. Just more assertiveness as well as empowerment of yourself. And this is a movement that I find to be so interesting. So interesting because when you have the chance to see how people react once you're not their doormat anymore, once you're not your yes man anymore, that really shows true colors, and that really lets you kind of discern who you want around you and who is most likely just here because they can gain from you, right? Then we have the aquamarine. So in the aquamarine, I see that this kind of sense of empowerment is coming towards you because of your life purpose becoming clearer to you. And your life purpose is of course partially just what you're naturally really into and really fond of and good at, but at the same time we also create our life purpose because the things that you desire, the things that you think you desire, often create a path that you can follow in order to have those things in your life, in order to have that be your day-to-day life. So just like for instance, if you really love animals and at the same time you're naturally an entrepreneur, you are going to create a life path that merges and marries those two things, right? You may create a business surrounding animals. You may want to be a vet or a veterinary assistant. You may want to create something, I mean, maybe even apparel, dog houses, food for various different types of animals, just creating your own brand, your own business model around what you really love and that you're naturally attracted to. Then we have the sapphire. So the sapphire, such a rare, beautiful gem, and it is trying to speak to you 3 months from now. So if you can write this down somewhere, group number 5, that would be really good. But it may also just already apply now and still be something that you need to remind yourself of 3 months from now, is the fact that, you know, easy does it. Your health, happiness, abundance, it all requires a gentle approach to life. It all requires a gentle approach to your success, your career. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself down. You're not helping the situation. And this can be hard, especially if you grew up with parents who were maybe very pushy, okay? So the stereotype would say like, oh, like for me, for instance, with one parent being African, you know how African parents can be. And it's just important for you to realize that that was a different time, a different generation. Now it's time for you to figure out what works. So your parents, your grandparents, their generation, just people who kind of showed you how to push yourself maybe a little too hard or in a bit of a condescending manner, they may have grown up during a time where they had no choice. It was like either you just get it done, there are no mental health days, or if you want to take a mental health day, then there's no food on the table. So you need to keep that in mind, but we live in a different time. We live in a different fast-paced community. If you're able to watch this reading online, times have changed, so that requires a different approach, maybe less of a get it done or no food type of approach, get it done or the day is ruined, to a kind of more like, okay, easy does it, take a little break and then get back onto the task, okay? So go with the times. Don't feel as though just because you may have beat yourself up before or that's what other people have done, don't let that influence you. Then we have the topaz. So in the topaz, it's all about forgiveness. It's all about learning that, hey, I don't need to feel bad about the fact that I don't have a long list of degrees, or I don't have this conventional viewpoint of what I want to do. And instead, I'm choosing to be loving towards myself. I'm choosing to give myself time and allow things to unfold naturally, because often we're taught to push, and force a little more in order to make things work, be it our education, be it a job, be it a marriage, a partnership, maybe even parenting. And when you come to the realization that that is just creating resistance and friction, and that sometimes it's best to just let things happen and be easy on yourself and everybody involved, that is when you can forgive and just constantly act from a place of love rather than from a place of guilt or feeling like, oh, I have to. Then we have Diana as well as Hilarion. So in Diana, one thing that I can see here is the fact that your intention is becoming more focused. So 3 months from now, you're really just with your eye on the prize, which is probably why this hyper magnetization of that is creating some friction where you have to remind yourself to just take things more easily, not beat yourself up over things. And one thing that I do see here in Diana is also the fact that you're setting your sights high and you're expecting great outcomes, which I want you to continue to do. Actually, do that from today onwards, group number 5. When you expect amazing things to happen, when you expect to be liked, the chances are, the probability is there that you will most likely have more success. And people are naturally going to gravitate towards you and like you. Then we have the Holy Spirit as well as Odin. So one thing that I see here in Odin are some mystical experiences. So feeling very connected to your psychic insight and your sixth sense. Being able to say, oh, I bet a parking spot is going to free up when I pull up, and it actually happens in a busy place. Thinking to yourself, oh, I bet this is going to happen to my friend, to my family member, and that is actually what occurs, even against the odds. So being very connected on that very psychic level and having your third eye very open, okay, able to send you a lot of messages. That is what I see 3 months from now. Then in the Holy Spirit, I see you expecting miracles, and through that expectation, like we spoke about in Diana, the fact that miracles will occur seemingly naturally. But remind yourself that setting the intention to attract miracles, to have miracles unfold in your life, is often just that little push that the universe needs to send more divinity in, right? To send more abundance and prosperity. So don't be shy to expect miracles, because if anything, that will just heighten your chances of more natural miracles. But also remind yourself that miracles are a part of life, and don't start beating yourself up or saying, oh, great things never happen to me, because that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So don't do that. Allow yourself to have an abundance of miracles instead of a very sparse amount because you're saying, oh, it never happens. Okay, be very cautious with the words that you choose around the topic of miracles and luck. Luck is another big one that you may be pushing away if you're saying, oh, I'm just really unlucky right now, or luck is never really on my side. Those are very dangerous words. Don't do it, group number 5, don't do it. Then we have the Empress. The Empress is all about beauty, fertility. So if you're looking to add on to your family, then this is a very fertile time for you 3 months from now. But furthermore, there is also a great probability and chance of a pregnancy or birth happening around you. Natural beauty flows all around, of course, but just more clarity around the fact that you have more of it than you ever expected. Then we have the 9 of Shells, and in the 9 of Shells, I see this attitude of gratitude. The 9 of Shells is all about just feeling fulfilled with yourself, feeling fulfilled with your relationships, which speaks really highly of your love life as well, allowing you to feel like the sense of happiness and like, oh, you're just so close to everything that you've ever wanted, and that things are putting you in a position where you can express that gratitude by giving very freely. Then we have the waning moon, and in the waning moon, I see you kind of asking yourself what you can release. So more decluttering 3 months from now, understanding that there are a lot of people and things that you may have been carrying around with you that's almost like dead weight, almost like things that you don't need, relationships that you don't need, and deciding to kind of already mentally make a note of what you're getting rid of, because while you're coming closer to source, closer to spirit, and understanding that you're so much more than just this human self, you're so much more than the material things in your life, it really allows you to detach emotionally from unsupportive relationships that aren't that meaningful, as well as items that are just clutter, that aren't really doing that much for you. And then we have the full moon in Aries. So there's going to be kind of like a big bang for you, group number 5. There's going to be a big climax, a big situation, a fiery situation that is approaching you, and that is just going to kind of spill all over the place 3 months from now. And one thing that I can see in correlation to the rest of your cards is just the fact that there is going to be this big miracle, this big thing that you didn't think would happen, you know, that you were afraid of. Maybe not being able to make a project, not being able to pass a class, or create that extra bit of income, that you have your first big success. You actually pass the test. You actually are able to finish the project with amazing results, feeling really, really proud. So I do see here a nice little conclusion 3 months from now, which will leave you feeling like you can shut off 2020, feeling like you really did make the best of it, feeling like you really did have a lot of awesome personal accomplishments. So group number 5, this is the reading that I received for you. If you made it all the way up until the end of your reading, leave a little flame emoji down below for this fiery climax that we have in the full moon in Aries coming up for you 3 months from now. Also, let me know what else hit home for you. Overall, I just wish you an amazing day or night wherever you are in this world, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings.